So in this case, what did you do?
My Lord, upon asking him those questions, Mr. Onyum told me the following. Mr. Onyum told me that he has no history of having excessive sadness. He has no history.
Let's go through, doctor, as I advised.
Doctor, is that all that on your report or?
Yes, my Lord.
Okay.
Should I continue, my Lord, with the same? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
No history of excessive sadness.
He had no history of loss of interest in pleasurable activities.
Sorry, kindly repeat that. He had no history.
He has no history.
Having excessive sadness.
Yes, my Lord. He had no history of loss of interest in pleasurable activities.
Yes.
My Lord, he also had no history of excessive fears or excessive worries. He had no history of worries, yes.
I shall be prompting you.
Okay.
No history of excessive fears.
Or worries,
Worries.
yes.
Yes.
He had no history of excessive happiness or increase in goal-directed activities. Increase in goal-directed activities.
Okay. If I may pause a little there.
For interpretation first.
Okay.
Nti okumukebera obwongo nti bamubuuza ebibuuzo bingi nti ebimu bamubuuza okulaba nti oba omutwe gwe gukola bulungi oba nedda nti musango guno ng'amaze okumubuuza ebibuuzo ebyo bye bababuuza yamugamba bino yamugamba nti yali tafunangako okunyiiga okusukkiridde era nti teyafunangako okubeerawo nga takyayagala kwetaba mu bintu ebyessanyu nti era yali talina okubeerawo ng'awulira atidde nnyo nnyo oba yeeraliikiridde nnyo nti era teyalina ekiraga nti yali asanyuka nnyo 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 oba okubeerawo ng'ayagala kukola ebintu ebisukkiridde.
Doctor, why were these questions important in your professional assessment of your client?
My Lord, these questions help us to establish various mental disorders, if any, in any client that comes before us.
Okay.
Continue. My Lord, he had no history of...
Just a minute. How do they help you? The court would want to know why, for example, you focus on excessive sadness or interest in pleasurable activities, or excessive fears and worries, or excessive happiness, or excessive goal-oriented activities. Why is this particular direction important to you as a profession in determining or detecting mental disorders?
My Lord, these questions are key to the various mental disorders. For example,
Mental disorders. Yes.
when I ask a client if you had history of excessive sadness or loss of interest in pleasurable activities,
Yes.
I'm trying to elicit if you have depression.
Okay.
If I ask about fears, excessive fears, or excessive worries, I'm trying to elicit if you have an anxiety disorder.
Yes.
The question I asked about excessive happiness or increase in goal-directed activities, I am trying to elicit if the client has bipolar affective disorder.
Has
Okay.
what? Sorry?
Has bipolar affective disorder.
Affective.
Affective disorder.
Okay. So other than that, what else did he reveal to you? Or did you ask him?
My Lord, he also told me that he has no use of hearing voices, or seeing things other people could not see. When I ask that, my Lord, I'm trying to elicit if you have hallucinations,
Okay.
my Lord, he also told me that he has no history of using illicit drugs like cannabis, however, he occasionally used alcohol. My Lord, that helps me to elicit if someone has a substance use disorder.
Yes.
He also told me that he has no history of having had any traumatic experience in his life. That is a question that can help me elicit if someone has what we call PTSD.
If somebody has,
PTSD,
which is,
post-traumatic stress disorder.
proceed.
My Lord, the client told me that I was the first mental health personnel he has ever seen in his life.
What did he say?
He told me that I was the first, this was the first visit to a mental health personnel in his life.
And how did you reflect that in your report?
Pardon?
How did you reflect that in your report?
If I get what you're saying,
Yeah, what did you write? How did you report that information in your report?
this is the index visit to a mental health personnel.
What? Index visit?
Yeah, index visit, the first visit to a mental health personnel, my Lord. And that he had never taken any psychiatric medications.
He had never taken any?
Psychiatric medication, my Lord.
What else?
My Lord, the client disclosed that was a patient of a chronic medical condition, sickle cell disease, and that he was regularly taking medication for that purpose.
Anything else?
Yes, my Lord, Mr. Onyum told me that he was the third born of 4 children, that his parents are alive and they are well. He also told me that there was no history of any mental illness in their family.
Okay. Let's allow interpretation.
agambye nti ebibuuzo bye babuuza abalwadde abajja mu ddwaliro lyabwe bya nkizo nnyo okusobola okutegeera bulwadde ki bw'omuntu bw'alina ku bwongo bwe. Okugezesa bw'abuuza nti wali obaddeko awo n'owulira ng'onakuwadde nnyo n'owulira nga tokyayagala kwetaba mu bintu ebyessanyu, aba agezaako okulaba omuntu oba alina obulwadde bwa depression oba okubeera ng'omuntu munakuwavu buli kaseera. Bw'abuuza nti oba omuntu abeera awo n'awulira ng'atidde nnyo oba yeeraliikiridde nnyo, aba ayagala kulaba oba alina obulwadde obw'okweraliikirira nnyo oba anxiety disorders. Nti era bw'abuuza oba omuntu abadde nga aba awo n'abeera nga musanyufu nnyo oba nayagala kukola ebintu ebisukkiridde, aba ayagala kulaba oba omuntu oyo alina obulwadde obunene obukosa obwongo ate nga bulwawo okuwona, obwe bayita bipolar affective disorder. Era yamugamba nti yali talaba bintu oba kuwulira ebintu abalala bye batawulira, n'agamba era yali takozesa biragalalagala ng'enjaga oba ebirala. Naye n'agamba nti obw'olumu yali anywa ku mwenge, nti okulaba nti oba era ebyo byonna bimubuuza okulaba oba yali alina obuzibu nga buva mu kukozesa ebiragalagala. Nti era yamugamba nti yali tafunangako okuyisibwa bubi oba trauma, era bw'aba amubuuza ebyo aba ayagala kulaba oba yali afunnyeko okuyisibwa bubi ate ne kimukosa kye bayita post traumatic stress disorder. Nti era yamugamba nti gwali mulundi gwe gwali gusookera ddala okulaba omusawo w'obwongo mu bulamu bwe, era n'agamba nti tanywangako eddagala erikwata ku bulwadde bwonna obw'obwongo, naye n'amugamba nti yali alina obulwadde bwa nalubiri oba sickle cell, nti ate yali ali ku ddagala ly'obulwadde obwo. Era yamugamba nti waka yowakusatu mu baana abana, nti abazadde be bakyaliwo ate bali bulungi, nti ate mu kika kyonna talinayo gw'amanyi nga alina obulwadde bw'obwongo.
So, Doctor, apart from what your client disclosed to you, you proceed to carry out your independent mental examination.
My Lord, I proceeded to carry out a mental state examination. My Lord, from this examination, I know.
Please come. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's go. 1, 2, hey.
What do you consider to take care of somebody well
Please
now
come.
in your medical
1, 2.
profession?
Ballet again. First
My
class.
Lord.
1, 2. Let's go.
He looked healthy, I could say. He never appeared sick in any way, physically.
1, 2.
That time I saw him.
1, 2. Let's clap for him.
Why was it important
Let's go.
for you to observe?
The first one is up.
My Lord,
Come.
all behaviors, they help us to know if
1, 2.
this person
1, 2.
could be acting
We're going to stand here at the other side. We have the second runner.
that this person could be acting under the influence of
1, 2.
probably voices is hearing in his head, or could be seeing things.
Let me see. So many Jews.
Others could see.
1, 2, 1, 2. Metro batera kuba abafumbo.
Yes.
Gunia mwenga mulinga. Balindeko. Are we set to go? Basaba ne banyabo tuleeta omwami
bwe yamala omugamba ebyo naye yongerayo n'okumukebera obwongo era mukebera n'alaba nti yali musajja akuze ng'alabika bulungi ate nga talina bulwadde okusinziira bwe yamulaba yali mukakamu ate ng'omuntu bw'aba ayogera asigala ng'amutunuulidde yali talina enneeyisa eyali teri ya bulijjo kino kituyamba okumanya oba omuntu yali akola byonna bye yali akola nga awulira amaloboozi oba okulaba ebintu abantu abalala bye baali tebalaba.
My Lord, I also noted that his speech was coherent. It was of normal rate. It was of normal volume. And it was of normal tone. I noted that his mood was effeminate. His mood
before the mood.
In the name of the Father,
I'm
and of
interested
the
in
Son,
following
and
the
of the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
in the order
Okay.
after the
We go.
Okay. My Lord, I noted that his thoughts were logical,
Time, please. Let's love for them.
with no preoccupation,
Abange engalo ne vayimunga tuli waggulu. Tuddeko waggulu.
no overvalued ideas,
Let's go. 1, 2.
and no delusions.
I'll go color, yes. 1, 2.
My Lord,
1, 2.
he had
No overvalued ideas and no
delusions, my Lord. My Lord, he had effeminate mood,
This side.
effeminate mood, EUTHYMIC. That's what we call basically a normal mood. This was congruent with affect. That means they match. Congruent with affect.
so that's what
CONGRUENT.
which means it was
Congruent with affect.
meaning
That both the mood and the affect are in agreement.
do you help us understand what affect means?
Affect, for example, is your current emotions. For example, if I look at you, your facial expression, I can tell that you are sad or you are happy. Why mood is a sustained emotion over a certain period of time.
is what? While mood is a sustained
emotion or feelings over a certain period of time. My Lord, Mr. Onyum had no perceptual disturbances. And he also had no cognitive disturbances.
I'm still going to ask you to help court appreciate what you mean by perceptual and cognitive disturbances.
My Lord, perceptual disturbances are in line with if you are having abnormal sensations, like for example, you are hearing voices, others are not hearing them. You are seeing things.
Let's go slow, doctor. For example, hearing.
You are hearing voices, others are not hearing them. You are seeing things, others are not seeing. Why cognitive disturbances? There we are looking at your memory. You are looking at your attention span. Your concentration. Your general knowledge of what's happening around you. Your ability to judge the situations well around you. Your ability to do basic mathematics.
Ability to do basic.
Basic mathematics. And if you are able to tell the time or the year we are in, or even to tell who you are as a person.
Again, doctor, why is this particular assessment in your mental health examination about these aspects of perceptual and cognitive perceptions, or rather disturbances?
My Lord, for a mental state examination, as a professional,
from a mental state
examination, as a professional, I will be able to conclude whether someone has a mental illness or not at the time?
Yes, proceed with your findings.
My Lord,
Maybe before you do, it might be too much for interpretation. Let's allow the interpretation.
Yalaba nga yali ayogera nga bulijjo nga talina buzibu, nti era yalaba nga yali alowooza bulungi nga talina bye mutawaanya mu mutwe, era n'agamba nti embeera ze zaali ng'eza bulijjo, nti ate embeera ze nga bwe zaali era bwe wamulabanga n'omanya nti embeera ze ne bwali nga kye kimu, nti era n'akinyonyola n'agamba nti ye ng'omusawo asobola okukulaba n'agamba nti oba oli munakuwavu oba oli musanyufu, nti ate okulaba nti mood oba okulaba embeera z'olimu akwekebeja okumala ekiseera n'amanya nti embeera zo ziri bwe ziti. Nti mwami Okello bwe yamukebera yasanga nga yali talina ebimutawaanya mu mutwe ng'okulaba oba okuwulira abantu abalala bye batalaba, nti ate yali ajjukira bulungi ebintu bye yali amanyi ng'asobola kutunuulira ekintu kimu n'abisigala ku kintu kimu nga tawankawanka, nti ate n'okumanya ebintu ebimwetoolodde oba ebigenda mu maaso, n'amanya okwawula ebintu ebyali kumpi naye, nti ate ng'asobola kugattamu n'okwawula, nti yali asobola kwogera essaawa zaali meka oba mwaka ki gwe tulimu, oba n'okugamba nti nze gundi. Ng'omusawo bw'aba akebera obwongo kiba kimuyamba okulaba okugamba nti omuntu alina obulwadde bw'obwongo oba tabulina ku kaseera ako.
Of 4 children,
Doctor, proceed.
that his parents, my Lord, basing on the psychiatrist interview, he also plus told me that my personal, there was mental history examination at the time of he presented to me